So now let's go ahead and reattach all of our panels that came off in the car. I always start with the pockets down here on the bottom. You're going to want to use a hot glue gun. This is a pretty industrial strength hot glue gun. You can pick these up anywhere. You can, I mean, even at Target or Walmart would have them. Home Depot is going to be the best place. You can get a little bit better quality gun there. But if you're in a bind and there's a Target or a, Walmart or even a craft store, if your wife's picking up some crafts, you can never pick up a gun for you there. You just want to make sure you've got plenty of glue, and you'll see what I'm talking about here momentarily. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pockets. We're going to kind of show you how there's only one way they align, and you'll see where they used to sit. You can see the little marks on the door panel where they used to sit. Plus these move, so there's plenty of, you don't have to get them spot on, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys how they line up. So this actually, you're just going to take it and place it on there, get it situated, and then the glue is going to come, and then I'll show you. So let's get these back up here. We're going to start with this back pocket. So the first thing we're going to want to do is put a layer of glue here, because we're actually going to be gluing on this surface here, this surface, and these little surfaces here. So you can really just look and see where they used to be. So you got to do this kind of quickly because the glue will heat up, or will cool down rather pretty quickly. So I just take it and I just take my gun and just put you don't have to be super precise with this. You can see that'll get it started. That'll get the whole process started. Then you just take your pocket, get it on there, and push down. Woohoo! The glue's hot. Don't forget that. So you'll hold that down. It takes about 10 seconds for the glue to dry. And if you burn yourself, don't call us. No, I'm just kidding. Be careful. So that glue is pretty much set. You can leave it. We're going to do the same thing along this one. Just come straight across, but we'll be there, we'll be there. This whole door panel is broken pretty badly. This one we're going to do the same thing. Just drop it down. Woo! Burn your fingers again. Hold it, and then I'll show you. I always go along these edges, put a little bit more glue, just because I don't ever want to hear another rattle again in these cars. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So we'll get that secure, and then I'm just going to take my gun and I'm going to go along. Like this one I had plenty out there, so that one's not such a big deal. But here, I'm going to go ahead and follow this top edge with some hot glue and just go ahead and glue that and smear it all over. Don't be shy with the glue. There's you don't have to be pretty here. BMW wasn't, as you can see, so neither do you. So we already threw our glue there, so we'll put a little bit more there. And even if you don't have blown speakers and you don't have bad window regulators, you can take your door panels off and just do this part of the install if they're rattling, because they probably are. And then I come down along this bottom edge on both of them, and I just blob in some glue, 3 or 4 points back there. You guys can kind of see that, just so it secures it on that bottom edge, both the front and the rear. And I mean, you can put as much as you want. You're not hurting anything. I'm just trying to show you guys that. But then you want to test all your other ones and go, oh hey, look, that one's already. So just lift it up and squirt it up under there. Remember, you're not going to hurt anything by putting too much glue. And then I just go along the edges, come on in here. It doesn't have to be pretty. Of course, my car is pretty, but yours doesn't have to be. Now you can just go along the top edge. Don't be shy. Remember, your door lock has to go through there, so don't get a bunch of goop in there. Alright, so that's good. And then we'll come over here. We're going to test this one. Oh, look, that one's the same way. So just squirt it under there. you're really not going to recognize the car when you're done with this. It's going to sound so much better, not only with the new speakers, but with no rattles. Many of you, it's probably been 10 years since you've heard your car rattle free. Because I remember seeing these cars back in 97, 96 with the door panels falling off, even back then. This is 10 years later. Just don't be shy. Wherever you can get it. Well, even though it's already pretty secure, put a little blob down there. The gun's kind of cooling off a little bit. Alright, careful with that. Now, here's the tricky part. That's easy because you can be as messy and as sloppy as you want with it. It doesn't really matter. This part, we've got to be kind of particular with. And I want you guys to see, you can see where, back here, you can see where the contact patch began from this little line. Your car's going to look exactly like this. The reason I'm showing you that is because this has to be in a very certain way. And also, you can't have this too high up here, and you can't have it too far back. You've got to kind of have it almost flush with the edge. You want the leather part of the door panel, I don't know if you guys can see this, to overlap the bracket here. You want it to sit up slightly above it. You don't want it flush. You don't want it too far like that. You just want it slightly sticking above, like that. Now this part gets kind of tricky, so what I'm going to show you is, let's just take a box here, because we need to kind of work upside down. Makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to grab the gun over here. Sorry guys. And the reason we're doing it like this is because the glue, we don't want the glue to run. So we need to identify the back and the front. And you can always do that by just putting them together like so. Checking the, here, so we're going just like this. So we're going to start with the back piece. Remember, this guy's going to be so happy because he didn't know we were going to have to do this. So what we're going to do is kind of guesstimate. Take the, and that's the cool thing about hot glue is you can move it just a little bit. Push it down flush. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it's going to dry very quickly, so go ahead and get that done and go ahead and just put a little bead. I put so much glue on these cars, you guys. I really may be overdoing it, but it's not going to hurt, like I said 100 times. Alright, so now do the same thing for the front. Again, you can see where it starts and it stops, so we're going to want to don't worry about getting glue on stuff, you can peel it off later. So you get everything lined up, both areas. The glue will just rub right off of the leather, so don't worry about that. He's just getting on there. So now the entire door panel is re-glued. You can already hear a difference just by knocking on the door. There's no more rattling. I'm going to let this cure. I'm going to let the glue gun get a little bit hotter because we've been using it a lot. We're going to put a little bit more glue along these edges here to get this top piece straight. We'll throw the speakers in and throw the door panel back on and show you guys how once it's back on, there's no more rattling and no more looseness. So we'll join up with you momentarily.